Hello everyone and welcome to my quick little AFK stamina guide. I just wanted to share my personal fighting since I see a lot of people struggling to get good stamina parents. And they're kind of necessary, especially for this dirt CM that's coming up real soon. So let's get into it. What are most people doing wrong? In my personal belief, it's power card spam. I assume most people are doing it because of Ray's video, which I have since found out to be incorrect. And I do not blame her at all. It's been like 3 or 4 days since the video came out, and UMA creators are really struggling right now since there's so much content releasing in such a small amount of time, and this feature is new even in the Japanese server, so literally nobody has idea what works and what doesn't. Another thing I think kills a lot of AFK parents is doing too many races. Early on, when we got AFK training, lots of people assumed you could do the track blazer thing of just spamming race bonus and doing as many races as possible. Since then, I have found out that's not really the best strategy and it actually makes your UMA worse. Both of the screenshots were from my Christmas augury cap since I do not own the base version, and she was made in Grand Life AFK using the sprint setting. Since I was using so many power cards, I just thought it would do the better job, and it didn't. Now let's compare her to my Passa that I got using my own methods, also in Grand Life. As you can see, compared to her, the augury cap is kind of dog shit. Like, Passa was literally made using on the stamina setting, and all of her stats are better than the augury. So anyway, I played around with the scenarios, checking what works and what doesn't, and I found out that the easiest scenario to get high stamina in is Unity Cup, while the best scenario for getting SS rank is Grand Life. I would not really use URA unless you're specifically hunting for Happy Meek Sparks. It's just not worth it. And I did not check Track Blazer since it gives literally no benefits outside of manual training. So while Grand Life may look the best, I believe that there is a small catch that it requires you to actually already have decent stamina parents before you use it to grind some more. So let's move on to my general parent plan. Which assumes that you don't really have a goated stamina parent, you only have like 1 or 2 decent ones. So the first thing you want to do is grab both of your parents. I used my special week that I grinded out before AFK came out in Track Blazer. And also used Gold City that I got before the bug was patched, but alternatively one of them can be a Borrow with good whites and a lot of stamina. And when looking for borrows, I would prioritize the top one being free stamina, as well as having a lot of good whites that you actually want to pass down, and not just whites you don't really care about. And use them as your parents for your UMA in Unity Cup. The good thing about Unity Cup is, besides getting a lot of stamina, is that it provides a lot of good skills, like all the spirits, free no stopping me, as well as ramp up, which are very good skills you definitely want to pass down. And once you get your own passable Unity parent, then you can move on to AFK farming in Grand Life and repeat it forever. Personally, I would recommend getting 2 parents that would collectively add up to at least 16 stamina. Otherwise, it might be very difficult, even with free stamina cards, to hit the stamina threshold that we actually want to get. And no matter which scenario you play, you kind of want to limit your races. For example, let's say you're running an UMA that has like A in turf, but her mile, for example, is G. You probably don't really want to schedule races she is not really guaranteed to win, because it's not worth it. So unless you have like goated stamina parents, I think it's better to slightly tank your affinity in order to get 10% chance to get a good stamina spark over just like grinding 5% over and over again and never actually getting a good parent. But assuming you're running something like Oguri Cap, which is literally a goated Uma when it comes to affinities, you still may want to skip 1 or 2 G1s just for a higher chance of actually hitting the stamina stat, as well as hitting the SS rank. Anyway, so here is my deck recommendation. On average, this method gives less skill points than others, so this is mostly for people that lack good stamina parents or basically starting from almost 0. 1 speed, 1 power, both SSRs that are MLB. At least that's what I've been using. I'm just one person. I'm using what I have. They're mostly here to boost our rating as well as give us the skills that we want. I've been mostly using the new Agnes Tachyon. She provides a lot of good pace skills, and I'm kind of moving into playing more pace chasers, so it kind of just works out. But I've seen people using 2 power cards instead and still get good ranks, so experiment with what you have. Then there's the scenario attacks, which is either Rico or Light Hello, depending on which scenario you're currently playing. And 3 SSR stamina cards. Personally, the ones I use the most are the free Suzuka, Rob Roy, and Meisho Doto from the free events. Mostly because my Super Creek is 0 LB, so she would kind of have to be my borrow, and I would rather borrow a card with a lot of more skills that I actually want to pass down. Like when I'm grinding Frontrunner parents, I would rather get Max Limit Break, Smart Falcon for the higher chance of getting grand work. So just literally use whatever you have. The one card I would not really use unless it's like my last option is Mejiro McQueen, because I found out that she kind of gives me the lowest amount of stamina, and stamina is all I want, so it kind of like sucks. And here's all the cards I have not tested since I don't have them. And since I already have 3 good stamina cards, there's not really a reason for me to borrow them most of the time. But I've seen a lot of people get a lot of use out of the Tanano Cross one, so feel free to experiment with that one. Another card that seems really interesting is the new event Biwa Hayahide card, but as of recording this, I'm yet to get it to MLB. But her 2 stamina bonus, 1 SP bonus, and very high specialty priority could be really good, especially in the Grand Life AFK farming. So yeah, that will be all. I hope this video will help a lot of people get parents that will actually be usable instead of just SS Umas that will literally never get that stamina spark. And I can go back to actually playing the game or going back to drawing. Look at this cool Teo I'm currently drawing, isn't she cool? You can see more of my artworks either on my Instagram or my Vgen. Thanks for watching!